What's up, everybody? This is Sunko, the Korean Bro. Today's 2024, April 11th. Okay, let's look at today's article. One overlooked stock in the AI race to buy and forget in 2024. What would that be? Pure Storage stock has gotten high in 2024. The company's increasing subscription sales bode well for its long-term profitability. Pure Storage is less exposed than its peers to the cyclical nature of the digital memory business. Okay, what is this Pure Storage? Pure Storage proved the doubt was wrong, and share price has been off to the races so far in 2024. Back in December, the market was punishing Pure Storage due to some short-term accounting effects distorting the way its reported metrics reflected the true growth of the business. I thought the stock looked like a compelling value. While it hasn't been the highest growth bet on the new digital memory demands of artificial intelligence systems, Pure Storage has been making some waves, rising by more than 50% so far in 2024. This is still a great set it and forget it buy for the long term. Pure Storage is a bet on the AI memory and subscription. Pure Storage competes in the data center and enterprise server market against companies like Dell and Hewlett Packard Enterprise. That app subscription data storage model is more similar to Pure Storage's. However, while these other companies offer somewhat diversified lineups of computing and memory hardware types, Pure Storage is specifically dedicated to high performance, flash memory based server storage solutions. While most of its hardware funds applications outside generative AI market, the high performance nature of its product has made Pure Storage a part of this thriving next gen data centers ecosystem. So another unique aspect of the company is its extensive software capabilities built atop its systems. As such, it can offer storage and subscription service, including access to continuously upgraded hardware via its flagship Evergreen One subscription. The high rate at which these recurring subscription revenues have been growing was actually the reason many investors had a downbeat outlook on Pure Storage's stock late in 2023. Since the revenues from subscription sales are realized over time, in contrast to the bigger upfront payments Pure Storage receives, well, when it sells source systems outright, the company's storage subscription revenues were throttling its overall revenue growth rates last year. Okay, so the Pure Storage, um, it hasn't been that much popular as compared to the other AI companies, but it still got potential. That's why this author recommended that you should buy this. So here it says one overlooked stock in the AI race. Next up, we got best stock to buy right now. Altria British American Tobacco. Uh, Two soaring stocks I bought with no hesitation. Okay, Amazon stock has room to run. Costco shares have trounced peers like Walmart on expectations of faster earnings growth. See, Amazon shares are up 80% in the past full year and have gained over 20% in 2024 alone. Yet the stock could still be undervalued. Shortest member of the Magnificent Seven has been caught up in the market euphoria around artificial intelligence. Wall Street loves to take giant exposure to enterprise cloud services growth, especially given that it is backed up by the large but barely profitable e-commerce segment, at least compared to the Amazon Web Services unit. The segment generated $7.2 billion of operating profit last quarter, up from a $5.2 billion a year ago. So shares don't seem expensive given the strong sales and earnings growth that Amazon is putting up. You can buy the stock for 3.3 times revenue, which is still well below the pandemic high valuation the investors saw in 2021. Brace for volatility ahead, but consider keeping Amazon in your portfolio for the long term. Costco is a retailer. It's rallying like a tech stock right now. Costco, the big box retailing titan, is up sharply in the past year and trouncing industrious rival like Walmart and Target. I'm still bullish on this popular stock following its recent rally, though. That's because Costco is attracting more customers to its stores thanks to its price leadership selling approach. Customer traffic was up healthy 4% last quarter. Shoppers are flocking to the convoy's online sales channel that tilts toward more discretionary purchases. Wins in both areas all second quarter sales rise 6% to $57 billion. Costco won through you a huge sales gains in any short-term period. Most Wall Street pros expect revenue to rise by less than 5% this fiscal year. Investors should temper their expectations around earnings gains as well. Costco routinely converges 3% of sales into operating profit, compared to Walmart's 4% and Target's 5%. But the business is primed for long-term success. Its customers are highly engaged, as you can see by Costco's membership renewal rate. It's sitting at a record high of 92%. This elevated level will also make it easier for a company to pass along its next membership fee hike at some point this year. Watch for most of the financial gains from this move to flow into Costco's price cuts rather than spark immediate earnings improvement. If the chain will still get major financial benefits from the increased fees, which constitute most of its annual earnings out. Selling approach means Costco's profits are far more stable than those of its peers and can grow though the ups and downs of the economy. The stability is valuable. Why investors should consider owning this consumer staple stock even after its recent rally. Focus on growth-oriented funds when you have a lot of investing years left. Wondering retirement dividend funds can make the most of your money and help minimize your risk. Okay, let's see. Dividend stocks can help supplement your retirement income and give much more financial stability. Many people approaching retirement have fears about the state of their future finances. In a 2023 survey, the Nationwide Retirement Institute found that 75% of people aged 50 and over are concerned that Social Security benefits will run out at some point in their lives. And even if it doesn't worry you, there's a risk that you may not be generating enough income to leave the kind of retirement that you want. One way to elevate these concerns is by investing for a long term and preparing for retirement ahead of time. By investing in stocks and relying on incoming generating investment during retirement years, you can be in a much stronger financial position. Below, I'll show you how you can generate $50,000 in annual dividend income by the time you retire. Use exchange traded funds to simplify your investing strategy. An ideal way to simplify your investing strategy and to help generate strong returns is to invest in an exchange traded funds. By putting money every week or every month into an ETF, you don't have to worry about which stocks are good buys at the moment you decide to invest. You can simply put money into the same diversified ETF to eliminate the guesswork and analysis that can sometimes turn investors off from investing in stocks. There are many excellent ETFs to choose from. A popular one is the Invesco QQQ Trust. It holds the top 100 non-financial stocks in Nasdaq, which means you have exposure to some of the best growth stocks in the world. Whether you want to invest in Microsoft, Amazon, Nvidia, or even Costco wholesale, these stocks are all within this fund. As new growth stocks rise and there are new top names, the ETF will update and reflect the best of the best. There's no need to constantly monitor stocks and valuations. Investors QQQ Trust has made for an exceptional investment over the years. During this past decade, the fund has grown by more than 415%, which averaged out to a compounded annual growth rate of 17.8%. That doesn't mean every year you will achieve that type of return, but with some excellent growth stock in the fund, you could outperform the S&P 500 index, a long run early average return of 10%. Investing early and often is the key. Okay, even if you don't have a huge lump sum to invest in stocks today, investing early and often can be the key to generating large balance. Suppose you could find a way to save $50 per week, or it's not an easy task amid today's current economic conditions. A possible way could be through the combination of cutting some costs, picking up some extra work over the course of a year, an extra $50 per week would mean $2,600 per year in savings, which could invest in the Invesco QQQ Trust. Here's how those savings could grow, assuming you average the 15% annual return on your investment, invested $50 per week. Okay, so after 28 years, You could have a balance of well over $1.1 million. Of course, depending on the actual returns, your portfolio balance will undoubtedly vary. Assuming you retire at age 65, that would mean you'd want to start employing this strategy by age 37. If you start later in life, you can also make up for that by trying to invest a bit more each week. The conclusion, however, remains the same: investing as much as you can, as often as you can, will put you in a better financial position by the time you retire. So when you retire, it's time to put that money into safer dividend stocks. Okay, growth stocks are good investment when you want to build up your portfolio balance, but because of the risk and volatility that can be involved, they aren't necessarily optimal investment come retirement. When you're in retirement years and need some more safety, it may be a good time to transition your portfolio into high yield dividend fund. A good option here is the SPDR portfolio ETF. It yields around 4.5%, holds a variety of different stocks, including Citigroup, Ford Motor, and Iron Mountain. The broader mix of stocks offers higher payouts and greater diversification than what you will get with the Invesco QQQ Trust. And if you got a large portfolio totaling more than $1.1 million, your dividend income could come in around $50,000 per year. So by then there could be other dividend for focused ETFs to choose from. So, but with an above average yield and some great diversification, you can put all the gains you accumulated over the years to work into a dividend focused ETF to maximize your income during retirement. ETFs can help you build a diverse, safe investment plan. If you want dividend income or just a place to invest for a long out, ETFs can help you accomplish your goals. Will also minimizing your overall risk, and having a go-to ETF to invest in can make your investment strategy much simpler and easier to deploy. There are many other ETFs you could use for this strategy, but ultimately, you can put yourself in the best position by targeting growth-oriented ETFs when you have a lot of investing years left, and putting that money into a dividend-focused ETF. Once you're in retirement, you need more stability. By doing this, you can make your retirement years as much more enjoyable as you potentially rake in a lot of money from dividends. The Vanguard S&P 500 ETF has averaged over 14% annual total return since its inception. Its a 0.03 expense ratio means investors only pay $0.30 in fees annually per $1,000 invested. Note that the ETF's top 5 holdings account for almost a quarter of the value of each fund. Okay, let's see. The Vanguard S&P 500 ETF is a one-stop shop for investors looking to cover lots of ground. The creation of exchange traded fund was one of the best things to happen to stock investing. With single investment ETF, investors can cover a lot of ground that would have otherwise taken hundreds or thousands of individual investments. ETFs are convenient and effective to say the least. If you're interested in investing in ETF and have $1,000, you can spare and invest, meaning you already have an emergency fund saved that paid down any higher interest, then the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF is a great option. So the stock market is different benchmarks essentially. Sets of stocks grouped together for tracking and comparison purposes. The S&P 500 is arguably the most important benchmark in the entire stock market, tracking 500 of the largest public U.S. companies by market capitalization. The U.S. stock market and the economy aren't synonymous, but they are closely related. That's why investment in the S&P 500 is generally seen as an investment in the broader U.S. economy. There are no guarantees in investing. Past performance doesn't guarantee anything about future performance, but an investment in the U.S. economy is one of the safer long-term bets you can make. Since its inception in September 2010, the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF has averaged around 14% in annual total returns. Here's roughly how much a single $1,000 investment at that time would be worth today. You can't beat the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF's low cost. While the S&P 500 is an index, numerous financial institutions put together their own S&P 500 ETFs. Though they're extremely similar, I prefer the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF mainly because of the low cost. It has 0.03 expense ratio, which works out to a total annual fee of $0.30 per $1,000 invested. For perspective on why that matters so much, let's compare it to the SPDR S&P 500 ETF, which has a 0.0945% expense ratio. If you had invested $1,000 monthly, an average 10% annual returns, you would have over $687,000 after 20 years. Had you made those investments in the S&P or S&P 500 ETF, you would have paid 7,400 in fees. By comparison, had you invested in the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF, it would have cost you around $2,400, making it far cheaper. So let some of the worst top companies lead the way for you. One of the S&P 500 best characteristics has historically been its diversification. It contains top companies from all 11 sectors of the market. Immediately, though, the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF and similar funds have become more concentrated than some investors would like to see. The ETF is market cap weighted, so larger companies account for larger fractions of its portfolio. And thanks to recent AI-fueled surge and other tech sector growth, top tech companies now dominated. Those top five holdings account for almost a quarter of the fund's value, and top 10 are almost a third. That doesn't scream diversification for a 500 company ETF, but you can rarely go wrong with having some of the world's best companies lead the way for you. The worst performing stock out of the ETF's top five holdings over the past 5 years was Amazon. Its stock price doubled in that time. Okay, let's see this one. The ultimate EV stashed by $1,000 right now. While competition in the EV market is growing, Tesla's robust finances will help you grow production, enter new markets. Hmm. Tesla's various technological endeavors underscore its potential as long-term investment. Despite some recent troubles, Tesla's push for continued growth with its innovative and disruptive technologies. Out of the several companies making up today's electrical vehicle landscape, one company stands out as a quintessential choice for investors, Tesla. While the industry is full of contenders vying for market share and jockeying for the top spot, they all face the incredibly challenging task of catching up to Tesla. The stock has slipped in recent months, and specifically over the last few days, as rumors of CEO Elon Musk ditching plans to launch an affordable model sword. Tesla still presents a rare and compelling opportunity for long-term investors. Let's delve deeper into why Tesla regains supreme among EV stocks and why now is the opportune moment to capitalize on this investment. Dominance in the EV arena. Analysts expect that by 2030, two out of every three vehicles sold worldwide will be on EV. Naturally, this potential growth has attracted legacy automakers and startups to the industry. However, while there is more competition than ever before, the position that there is a competition is a gross misrepresentation. In almost every regard, Tesla still reigns supreme. In terms of production, Tesla is still a clear leader. The company produced over 1.84 million vehicles in 2023, roughly 15% more than the next closest competitor, BYD. Yet, where Tesla truly shines is its ability to minimize costs and maximize profits. Thanks to its perfected and streamlined supply chain, Tesla brought in $8,200 in profit on per vehicle basis, nearly five times more than BYD. With more profits, Tesla generates significantly more income and has built a formidable cash reserves of $29 billion. This financial strength, hmm, financial strength makes it a force and will likely keep it at the top of the industry for the foreseeable future. While other EV makers are consolidating Tesla's robust finances, all the way to invest in operations and expand production capacity. With a new factory under construction in Mexico and potential new factories in India and Thailand on the horizon, Tesla is positioned to solidify itself as world leading EV maker for years to come. Beyond the wheels, Tesla's multifaceted vision. Tesla's dominance in the EV industry is well established, which will ensure that its benefit from increasing adoption trends. However, its true long-term potential shines through when evaluating its endeavors beyond EVs. From artificial intelligence and self-driving robotaxis to humanoid robots and innovative energy solutions, Tesla stands at the forefront of technological innovation. Immediately, it remains difficult to quantify the net impact these technologies will have because so much market exists for many of them. As of now, one of the few estimates conducted on this transformative technology came from a Kathy Woods Art Invest. To assess the influence of robotaxi fleet, the ARC research has conducted a Monte Carlo simulation that produced several outcomes for what Tesla's stock price could one day reach, depending on how much revenue and income robotaxis would generate. The results were astonishing to say the least. Taking advantage of tens of thousands of outcomes, ARC Invest concluded that robotaxi fleet could account for nearly half of Tesla's revenue. With continued growth in its EV business, this would push total revenue for Tesla past $1 trillion, nearly 10 times today's revenue. Should all go to plan, I forecast a Tesla share price of $2,000. The robotaxi analysis by Ox shouldn't be taken as gospel. However, it does show just how transformative these technologies that Tesla is developing can be. While it remains challenging to quantify how much revenue robotaxis or humanoid robots can produce, rest assured it will be considerable. Seizing the buying opportunity. Despite its reputation as a portfolio leader, Tesla stock has witnessed a notable downturn in 2024, shedding over 30% since the beginning of the year. The reason for this struggle likely has one culprit: high interest rate and sluggish growth. With the cost of owning a car higher than its previous years, Tesla's profit margins have taken a hit. Evidence of this waning recently appeared in Tesla's first quarter 2024 production update. Total sales in quarter first fell by roughly 20% compared to the previous quarter. It was also the first time that Tesla reported fewer year-over-year sales since 2020. In full transparency, management admit that 2024 will likely be a lackluster year for the company and the EV market as a whole. However, Tesla is perfectly suited to weather this short-term challenge. With its robust financial strength, Tesla is much better prepared to navigate a turbulent market than other EV makers like Rivian Automotive, which operate at a loss. In the same earnings call, Tesla management described its current situation as between two major growth uh, cycles. The first growth cycle saw its Model Y become the best-selling vehicle worldwide, pushing Tesla to be the most valuable automaker. Should anything go to plan, the subsequent growth cycle will be fueled by its robotaxi fleet and its humanoid robot Optimus. Tesla's recent stock price dip presents an enticing opportunity for investors with a long-term investing horizon. By seizing this opportunity, investors can position themselves to ride the wave of Tesla's innovative future as the EV market continues to evolve and the development of the futuristic technologies progresses. Tesla remains poised to solidify its dominance, making it the ultimate EV stock to buy with $1,000 right now. UiPath is one of our invest top holdings. Wait, hold on. Mm, okay. Mm, hold on for a second, okay? Mm. Okay, both Nvidia and Up 11 has been big beneficiaries of AI. These companies have seen their revenues and profits soar in recent quarters. Despite their strong stock performances, both companies trade at attractive valuations. Let's look at App Lovin first, because it's one of the stocks that I have, and its recent growth has been phenomenal. Okay, it's not a well-known company, but AppLovin stock is certainly getting some attention. Its price is up about 375% over the past year. The company has been a big beneficiary of artificial intelligence, which helped reinvigorate its growth. AppLovin is an ad tech company whose solutions are used by mobile app developers to improve the marketing and monetizations of their apps. The company also owns a portfolio of apps as well. The company started to gain a lot of momentum following the release of its Accent 2 AI-based advertising technology in the second quarter of 2023. The new AI engine is more predictive, increases the use of automation, which is allowing AppLovin to work with a wider breadth of advertisers in different verticals outside its core gaming customer base. The results so far have been outstanding. For the third quarter, the first full quarter Action 2 was available. Its software platform revenue surged 65% year over year to $504 million, while adjusted earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, amortization for the segment climbed 92% to $364 million. The momentum continued into the fourth quarter, with software platform revenue soaring 88% year over year to $576.5 million, while segment adjusted EBITDA jumped 126% to $420 million. Over revenue grew 36% year over year in quarter four. AppLovin has also started to benefit from the shift to real-time bidding in mobile auctions. This helps the company in two ways. First is Max Solution, which is used to drive in-app revenue, only charges for real-time bidding. Second, real-time bidding clears auctions more quickly, which allows publishers to show more advertisement to their customers. This leads to customers using AppLovin's platform more often. Given its strong growth and momentum, AppLovin continues to look attractive and valued. Despite the stock surge over the past year, the stock only traded at a 4 PE of under 17 times. Okay, AppLovin. Okay, let's go ahead with Amazon. Amazon is also one of the stocks that Warren Buffett had bought in 2019. At first, uh, it gained Buffett's curiosity, and now he thinks to himself that he should have bought it more. Mm, because it's that attractive. Mm. Okay, let's see. Warren Buffett's decision to steer Berkshire Hathaway into position in e-commerce behemoth Amazon turned more than a few heads back in 2019. Buffett's never been a big fan of technology stocks. He thinks they are too difficult to understand, leaving their shareholders at something of a disadvantage. Even the Oracle of Omaha, however, came to deny it's been a fruitful holding, even if it was most likely a pick from one of his acolytes. Amazon shares are up 7% since Bush bought them 4 years ago. His willingness to jump into a stake with the unlikely pick is rooted in the same reasons most other shareholders own a piece of the e-commerce powerhouse. That is outgrowing its rivals in the market that it dominates. Its fiscal fourth quarter top line improved 14% year over year, capping off 12% growth for the full year and overcoming economic madness in the process. Sales growth should top 11% this year, as well as next year, pumping up the bottom line even more. The thing is, Amazon actually does check off several of the criteria Buffett uses when choosing a stock. Chief among these rules is that it's far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price. Okay, tonight this is it. Uh, I'm getting a bit tired, so I'll come back tomorrow night if possible. See y'all and have a good night. Okay, bye bye. Bye bye.